resources. Well, let me confess, this talk of natural resources, I've never been a big fan of natural resources.
Let me just put you on hold quickly. We have our correspondent, Sarah Ayeku, standing by in Okitipupa to bring us up to speed. Sarah, talk to us about logistics, deployment by INEC and every other thing. Oh, I can see people around you already. Voters are out. But talk to us what's going on where you are.
Of course, it's been weeks and weeks, months of campaigning for the 17 political candidates, gladiators for this election. And for the people, of course, they have been prepping up for today. And just what you see right now, so I'm at polling unit 017, that's new garage zone at New Motor Park, and 2, that's at Okitipupa local government area of Ondo State. And you see that INEC ad hoc staff are already here. They've been here like since about 7:30, 7:45-ish. They've been able to set up the polling unit area, and what they're doing right now is briefing residents about the mode of operation as it pertains to the electoral process. And so by 8:30, just like the INEC ad hoc staff had said earlier, that they're going to be opening the polls. So what you see right now is people are checking their names on the list, on the sheets along the wall. They're checking their names. We've seen a couple of them coming here to check their names just to see how they can, of course, get their voices heard on election day. And so it's really sunny. This is the Sunshine State, of course. It's really sunny. It's hot. For anybody that is in Ondo State, you wouldn't, for those who are coming as visitors, you wouldn't envisage this heat and hotness. And of course, the sun is really bright. But for the people, it's normal. And so what you see at this motor park is, in this polling unit alone, we're expecting over 1,000 voters will be at this polling unit. This polling unit 017. Over 1,000 of them, specifically 1,095. We're expecting to see them at this polling unit. And earlier on, we saw a particular candidate on the ballot. Of course, is from this particular local government. And we saw him, going around with his supporters, trying to ensure that they do some kind of last-minute canvassing, for votes earlier. Whether that is allowed, we still don't know yet, because according to the law, we're not expected to see any sort of canvassing around the polling unit area on election day. So earlier we saw a particular candidate come around with his supporters, ensuring that voters come out, residents come out to elect the next governor of the state. So for now, you see that the residents are getting set for this election. They are getting to line up because it's almost 8:30 on the dot, and then as immediately it is 8:30, right, election starts immediately. It's 8:30, and so that's what you see, right? After that briefing they had earlier, they've asked the residents to queue up. No demarcation whatsoever. Male and female are on the same queue. You can see the security operative there, ensuring that there is peace and order. And for this election, right, the security operatives have said that they're deploying 22,000 security operatives. And when we're coming in this morning, Veronica, the security was watertight at most of the border towns leading to Okitipupa. From Akure to Okitipupa, it took us about 2 hours, more than 2 hours to get to Okitipupa this morning. So at different checkpoints, there were military checkpoints, police checkpoints, NSCDC checkpoints. So it's difficult for anyone who wants to jeopardize or sabotage this process to pass through those numerous checkpoints and get to any of these polling units. So we're expecting that by 8:30, right, election starts almost immediately. The party agents are on hand to ensure that they are monitoring the process closely, because this is a keenly contested election between about 2 or 3 party candidates. Veronica.
All right, Sarah, talk to us. Some of the persons you interacted with, do they have trust in INEC and the process, for fairness and integrity in this regard?
Of course, INEC is hoping to come up with, they are hoping to put up a good show and dot all their I's and their T's and put up a good show today, particularly with the beavers. The beavers has always been a point of question, right? Particularly some persons also sometimes question the malfunctionality of the beavers machine. Some persons will say it wasn't working as we experienced in Ondo State. But for today, we're hoping we wouldn't see a recurrence of the beavers machine malfunctioning. Already, you know, they've already deployed, I think, about 4,000 beavers machine to accommodate the 3,933 polling units. So we're expecting that they have MCH that there could be some malfunctionalities out of the beavers machine, and then, of course, they'll have some electoral officers who are on standby, to, of course, attend to these incidents. So we're hoping that we wouldn't see these incidents, a lot of these incidents, because network is a challenge in areas, particularly in the rural areas. For instance, in the riverine areas, network is a big challenge. So we're hoping to see how INEC has been able to strategize or faction out a way that the beavers machine would not be an hindrance, you know, to this electoral process.
Interesting. Sarah, talk to us. I don't know if you've been able to speak with any of those, the voters right behind you, but what are the people of the state that you interacted with hoping for in the next 4 years from whoever takes the seat as governor?
You know, almost 11 months, would I say, or more than 11 months since Arakuri Rotimi Akeredolu died. No one would have ever seen it or seen this coming, that they wouldn't see Rotimi Akeredolu for this election, of course, putting his mark on this election, because you know that he is a political weight when it comes to the southwestern politics. And so for a lot of them, this is a new dawn for them, having these candidates, although some of these candidates are people know them in the grassroots. In Akure, for instance, you may not have the enthusiasm that we expect to see, but the enthusiasm, of course, we expect to see it from these rural communities. And for instance, Ondo South, for instance, which is like has the second largest number of voters, particularly PVCs collected. For Ondo South alone, the PVCs collected, that's 609,314 PVCs collected. That's out of 673. So like about 90% of those who registered for this electoral process, about 90% of them actually, right, collected.
Sarah, we'll have to put you on hold. We have Olaide Oyewole joining us now to bring us up to speed with development from Ugbonla, where he has gone to tell us what is going on. We saw the governor, Lucky Ayedatiwa, you know, heading there to cast his ballot in Obenla. I hope I got that correctly. But tell us, talk to us details of where you are right now. Olaide? All right. Sarah? Yes, you were talking about what the people expect in the next 4 years.
And I'm talking about, you know, and before I go to what people are expecting for the next 4 years, particularly the expectations for the new governor, I'm telling you how strategic this particular senatorial district is. I'm talking about Ondo South senatorial district. The contenders really are from this senatorial district. I'm talking about from the two major political parties. They are from this senatorial district. So all eyes are really not really on Ondo Central, which of course has the largest PVCs collected, number of PVCs collected, but on Ondo South, and this is grassroots politics at play, right? And people are coming out for who they love. And so some of the expectations they had raised is they're hoping to see, of course, the economy of Ondo State transform. They're hoping to see a governor that can transform the economy of Ondo State. Ondo State, of course, you know, is an agriculture-based state. And they're hoping to see a governor that can transform that particular sector and, of course, safeguard the farmers, because they're having complaints of insecurity on the part of the farmers. They are unable to go to some of their farms, remember the Owo incident, which is, still fresh in the minds of a lot of people in Owo and even in Ondo State. So this particular election is very central, right? It's central to the people, it's close to their hearts, because this is the first time they'll be having one of the political weights, which is Arakunrin Rotimi Akeredolu, is not here anymore, but somehow they still love him. And this particular candidate, some of these candidates, particularly contenders, worked with Arakunrin Rotimi Akeredolu. So they're hoping that some of these candidates will inject some of the ideals or ideologies of former Governor Rotimi Akeredolu, particularly. So we're hoping to see how these candidates will fare in today's election. So the expectations are high, and voting has started already, and a lot of people are still coming out from their homes to vote. And like I said earlier, this particular polling unit will be having over 1,000 voters come here to cast their ballots for the next governor of the state.
If you can hear me, Sarah, we need to quickly put you on hold and speak with Olaide Oyewole to quickly speak with us with regards to his journey on the high seas, as it is, moving with the governor who is going to cast his ballot at Obenla. Talk to us, Olaide. What's going on?
Yeah, anything because of the breeze. But like I said earlier, we are heading towards Obenla, the hometown of the governor of Ondo State, in the larger local government. And this trip is supposed to take about 35 to 40 minutes down to his hometown. The governor has left before us, and we are hoping to catch up with him before he gets